Hey guys, welcome back to Matic Graphics. Today we're going to be doing a realistic 3-dimensional eye. It's very similar to my last video, so feel free to check that one out as well. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the outlining the pupil, the iris, and also creating a few windows and highlights. Now I'll continue to draw the upper eyelashes and also create the eyelashes on the bottom and a few coming through the window. Now I'm going to go ahead and darken the inside of the iris using a paintbrush to blend. Then use my darkest pencil to darken the inside of the pupil. Then I will shade the upper part of the iris and then create lines coming from the outside of the iris headed in towards the pupil. These lines are going to be uneven. I will then blend and use a darker pencil over top, creating a few random lines in between those and the pupil. Then I'm going to finish with blending with a paintbrush and darkening the upper side of the iris even more. And then I will continue to the eyelashes. For the eyelashes, I'll start with a wooden pencil for my guide and then go over with my darkest pencil all the way across the top part of the eye. I'll then draw more small texture lines coming from the pupil headed towards the outside of the iris. Then going in with my eraser, I'll create highlights throughout the entire iris, using a darker pencil outside of those highlights to just make them a little bit more prominent. And now I'll come in with my white gel pen and create a few more highlights to finish off the iris. Now moving on to the upper part of the eyelid, I'm going to shade, making the left side a bit darker than the right and continuing to blend with a paintbrush. Now I'll continue to draw the eyelashes. So I'll use the guides that I had before, but I also want to create a lot more eyelashes. They're always going to be random, going in different directions. And you want to create them a bit darker around the base. And make sure that they're curving down and then up from the top and then down and then out from the side. I'm now going to go back and erase the base of the eyelashes towards the front and continue to make more small eyelashes. Now I will darken the white part of the eye, blending with a paintbrush and tissue, making it a bit darker on the inside, and continue to draw small black veins or texture lines. Darken the outside of the eye on the right side and use a paintbrush to blend, and then come back and just make these veins a little bit more prominent and continue to blend with the paintbrush. Now I'm going to use my white gel pen to create a dotted line highlight along the top part of the eye using a paintbrush to blend, then darken the inside of the eye. Draw just a few more eyelashes before then moving on to the top part of the eye. Darken the line that will be the crease and continue to blend in between. Now draw black lines coming from the top and the bottom as texture lines, and then go back in with your white gel pen, creating dots and small lines in between those black texture lines. Continue this same pattern about halfway up the eyelid, in between those texture lines, and also create a few more highlights around the bases of the eyelashes. This is really going to help make the image pop. Now continue down to the bottom of the eye, using a tissue to blend. Make the bottom side a little bit darker. This is also going to be a crease, and continue to make the bottom eyelashes. You're going to start by using a 4B pencil. With the bottom eyelashes, you're going to go up and then curve down, making them in random directions, and then go back over those eyelashes with a darker pencil and slightly blur with a paintbrush. Now continue to darken underneath the eye, leaving a highlight on the left side, going back in with your eraser to create highlights among the bases of the eyelashes. Use your gel pen to go back and make these highlights a little bit more prominent. And now take the eraser to create small texture lines under the base of the eye. I'll then use a darker pencil in between those same highlights to create a skin texture. Now I'm going to move on to the top part above the crease, shading with a pencil, and then using a paintbrush and a tissue to blend. I'll then move on to outline the teardrop on the inside of the eye, using a pencil to shade around the outside and blending with a tissue. I'll then darken underneath the eye, creating a crease in the skin, and then create texture lines coming out from the inside. Create more texture lines coming down from the base of the teardrop, shade in the inside, and then I'll create highlights within that teardrop and a few more highlights in between. Now just use your gel pen to create a few more finishing touches and highlights around the base of the eye, and that's your finished product. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe to my channel, and come back soon because we'll have more videos dropping in the future.